I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you game 2 of this 3-game series. In the opener last night, if you missed it, you really did miss a whole bunch. They won it 9-2. The only 2 runs we got, 2-run homer by Avi Garcia. But on the other side of that field, Buster Posey in those 3 World Series championships by the Giants, he's been the man.
Buster Posey is one of the best players in baseball, hitting .317 this year. He's only driven in 59 runs, and the biggest reason is they're not pitching to him very much. He is the stud in the middle of this lineup. And so goes Posey, so goes the team. He's hit in 8 straight. 12 for 30 during that stretch with 3 doubles, 5 driven in. Look at the on-base percentage at .471. He's drawing a whole lot of walks again because without a whole lot of protection behind him, you're not going to throw him anything too good in a key situation, and that's been the case this year.
Well, on the bump tonight, a couple of right-handers out there.
A couple of veterans going head-to-head, and it should be a dandy. And despite the fact that the ERAs are magnificent against the respective clubs, these guys will have a whole lot of work to do this evening. Jeff Samardzija, formerly with the Sox, now finds his way on a multi-year deal to San Francisco, and he's got a terrific sinker. Throws a splitter to go with it, and all things considered, he's having a pretty decent year. For a while, it didn't look like James Shields was going to be able to make this start. He was throwing the ball pretty well last time out. He's dropped his arm angle to sidearm, and that's really helped him. However, this one going right back at him. At that point, we thought probably lost for the year with a broken knee. He felt he had one, but fortunately, he came away. X-rays were clean. He's back right out there without missing a start. This is a very durable pitcher, as he has been through his career. So against the Giants, James Shields is a .262 ERA and a 2-3 record. Jeff Samardzija 1-2 against our Sox with an ERA of an even 1. So it should be an interesting battle tonight. It's nice to see James back out there again. He's a guy who wants the ball each and every time, and he's got it tonight.
All right, game 2 of this 3-game set. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
this week, and managing a young roster with only a few wins can be challenging, but Rick Renteria tries to use each game as a teaching moment and find the positives.
I guess it's like a novelist or a writer. The best ones are always speaking most times of through life experience. And the athletes, I think, are no different. And none of us are any different. I think we are much better off after we've lived certain things in our lives and we've dealt with adversity and or experienced both joy and pain to become better people and better, in our instance, better athletes, better baseball players.
The next chapter in the White Sox 2017 book is coming up. Stay tuned. Lineups and first pitch after a break.
The way you watch sports on TV.
Sox taking the field, and let's take a look at how Bruce Bochy is going to line up his San Francisco Giants for the game this afternoon. The Giants having a tough year, as are our Sox. Denard Span leading it off with the very talented Joe Panik in the 2 spot. Then it's Buster Posey, Brandon Crawford, Nick Hundley, Pablo Sandoval, who had a big game yesterday, along with Hunter Pence, Austin Slater, and Ryder Jones rounding out the lineup. The defense and how they'll line up behind James Shields. Nicky Delmonico once again in left field with Adam Engel and Abisail Garcia in the outfield. Then it's Yolmer, Tim, Yoan, and Jose in the infield. Omar Narvaez gets a nod behind the plate. And James Shields on the hill. Did not miss a start despite that line drive off his knee. On for his 18th start, 2-6 ERA at .572. For James, keeping the ball in the ballpark will be a good trick. The umpires. Stu Sherwater has the plate. Eric Cooper at first, Adrian Johnson at second, and Gabe Morales is at third. So on what's turned out to be a beautiful night for baseball, the wind will be a factor tonight. It's blowing toward the right field corner, and anything hit with anything on it to the right side probably is going to depart the ballpark. And James continuing the warm-ups. Just the fact that he is out there after witnessing that line drive he took is a testament to the fact that the man's only been disabled one time in his entire career. He wants the ball every chance he gets, and going back out there to put together a good one tonight against a struggling San Francisco ball club who's managed by one of the best in the business, Bruce Bochy. When he was with San Diego, he was equally as good a manager. He just didn't have near the talent, although he was pretty good down there and got a whole lot out of some teams that probably didn't have as much talent as he would have liked. But that was put to bed when he came to San Francisco. Brian Sabian, then the GM, got him a whole lot of talent. And it seemed every other year, because it was every other year, Bruce Bochy and his Giants won the World Series. It'll be a little bit tougher the next couple of years, as the Dodgers are really loaded with a lot of good young players. So they've thrown the ball around the infield, and that means that we're ready to play baseball. That also means I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Early afternoon to White Sox baseball right here for WGN Sports. Game 2 of this 3-game set. As Denard Span, 33-year-old veteran, gets set to lead it off against our veteran right-hander, James Shields. Indeed, he is a gamer.
There's no doubt about that.
Span hitting .269, 11 homers, and 38 driven in. As a matter of fact, he hit his 11th home run last night. Line drive into the right field seats. Outfield swung around to the left. Giants come in hitting at .248 as a club with a 4.54 team ERA.
See Bruce Bochy in his 11th season as a skipper for the Giants.
Well, he and Brian they just formed a terrific tandem there in San Francisco, much like Schuerholz and Bobby Cox did down in Atlanta.
Yeah, there's no doubt that a good manager is going to need a good general manager.
You don't have to go out to dinner with them every night, but you've got to have a good working relationship with them.
Just tell them what you would like and don't specify a particular player, and normally it works out okay.
But it just so happens that both those guys, Brian and Bruce, are just terrific guys, period.
Yep.
The 1-2. Span has had a tough time against Shields. He's faced him 37 times, has 5 hits. Had him 1-2. It is now 3-2. Just not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day here in the city. Beautiful.
66 degrees of game time as you look at Joe Panik in the on deck circle.
Payoff pitch. A bullet foul. And here at Guaranteed Rate Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps and 400 straight away center. And what wind there is going out towards favoring right field. Once again to 3-2. So this is going to be a good at bat for Span regardless, being down in the count 1-2. And it gives Panik certainly a little better idea.
This is going to be the 8th pitch coming up, and he is playing the leadoff man to perfection. You want extended at bats if you're going to lead things off,
especially if you're on that on deck circle. Oh yeah, pull the string. He gone.
Took a whole lot off this one. The straight change hasn't been particularly good for James this year. It used to be his best pitch.
It was one of the best in the big leagues.
It was wonderful, and he could be one of those guys that could throw it to you 3 times and you still couldn't wait for it. But the last couple of years, as the velocity has dropped just a touch, the straight change isn't as good. That's why James is going to a lot more of the slow hooks. Well, he'd love for that one to be called a strike all day, because James can paint the outside corner at the knees, and he got about an inch and a half off the corner. He got a called strike. There you see on pitch cast.
Panik, prior to coming in here last night in the series, that was against the Rockies, wasn't it?
It was. How about that?
That was. I mean, I've never seen anybody do that. Now I have seen a guy get 9 hits the first 3 games of the season. Darren Jackson. We opened up in Seattle one year. He got 3 hits in the opener, 3 hits in the second, 3 hits in the third, and didn't start the 4th game.
Well, where was managing wanted to take advantage of the hot streak?
Well, our manager wanted to cool him off.
It's a good thing to do with your own players.
He cooled him off. He didn't get another hit for a week. I've never seen that. 3, 3, and 3 in 3 games, 9 hits, and doesn't start the 4th game. And in there were a couple doubles and a home run.
Sometimes it's just really difficult to get into that lineup card. I mean, that appeared to be his big problem. He couldn't get on the lineup card.
High in right field. So that is out number 2. And a reminder, the 27 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate. For a low mortgage rate and incredible customer service. That is always nice to have. Incredible customer service. Go to rate.com. So here's Posey.
We talked about the low RBI totals. A lot of people pitching around him. He is the huge difference maker in the middle of a very much depleted lineup.
Well, you framed it right in the opening. As you said, that's the reason his RBI total is low.
Yeah, because he's fully capable. I mean, with his batting average and what he's done in the past, he's capable of driving in a whole lot of runs, but not if he's not pitched to.
Well, up the middle, going to be a tough play. Couldn't find the ears on it. You can't get it. So that'll be a Kansas City special, but Posey coming up a little gimpy.
He's not used to many infield hits. And this was one, if Yuan had secured the baseball, you make the throw, you get him at first. That little bobble at the end, and that's all it took for Posey to beat the play at first base. James can't get to it. Yuan can. Normally he's very accurate from this side of the diamond. And right there, that bobble cost the play at first.
That's all right with Brandon Crawford. Most hitters like to get a pitcher out of the stretch. Crawford at 251, 13 homers, 70 knocked in. That's a point that's really not, in my opinion, talked about enough over the years in baseball. You get certain guys like in this lineup, as there's a shot, and that's just foul. Thank you very much. If you're going over the giant hitters, which they do before each and every game, the one guy you will not or should not allow beat you is Buster Posey.
That's it. He's the man you would key on each and every game. But the man behind him, Crawford's driven in 70.
He's done a good job.
Yeah,
he's a good player.
He's a very good player. Giants got him in the 4th round back in 2008.
Well, and this is taking nothing away from anybody, but you take Hank Aaron, Bad Henry. He had some pretty good protection behind him, Eddie Matthews. And then they had there for a long time dangerous home run hitter Joe Adcock.
They had Rico Carty as you move forward.
Well, he was going forward, and he was an outstanding hitter. Yeah. He was way below the radar nationwide publicity wise.
But not for the guys who pitched against him, because he was really tough.
And the parks they play in. You know, the year I led the league in RBIs with I had 4 more than Frank Howard. He was playing with Washington, and I can tell you without any doubt in my mind, if he had been playing and hitting the spot 4th in the Red Sox lineup like I was, he may have driven. I drove in 109. He drove in 105. He may have driven in 140. Because he had 2 guys hitting in front of him. Neither one of them hit 200.
Yeah, you have to have somebody to drive home. You can't just drive yourself home.
Exactly.
All the time.
So it does make a difference in the park you're playing in and also the lineup you're in. Full count with 2 down. There goes Posey.
Hundley drove in a pair last night with an RBI single in the 9th inning. The game was pretty well put away at that point. He did also draw a walk and scored a run in the 4th. He scored ahead of the 3-run homer that was hit by Pablo Sandoval, and that kicked off the scoring, and the Giants didn't trail after that.
So a 2-out threat here in the top of the 1st. Only 2 for 5 lifetime off games. That's high in the right field. Everybody got a long way to go. Avi, yes! Nice sliding catch. Stayed with it, and that'll retire the side. So they threaten. They can't score, and let's take another look at this beautiful play by Avi.
Duncan. Yolmer leading it off. Juan Moncada in the 2 spot, then Jose Abreu, who over the last month or so has just been nails. Then it's Nicky Delmonico, Avisail Garcia, Narvaez, Anderson, Brantley, and Engel rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Jeff Samardzija. It's Slater, Span, and Pence in the outfield with Sandoval, Crawford, Panik, and Ryder Jones in the infield. Nick Hundley gets a nod behind the plate. Jeff Samardzija on the hill. He's 9-12. There you look at the numbers. This is 29th start, so he's been durable. And when he's right, he throws a lot of ground balls because he's got a pretty good sinker and a splitter to go with it. But occasionally, the control on his fastball deserts him.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Yolmer hitting at .262, 10 homers, 47 knocked in.
The Samardzija numbers that are impressive: 184 strikeouts to just 28 walks.
That ball hit deep in the center field. Span, it seems like, against us, he looks like an all-star, both with the leather and the lumber.
I got to believe that the wind had a little part in that ball staying in the ballpark. Yolmer hit it awfully hard. The ball stayed up a long time, and because of the height of the fly ball, it allowed the wind to knock it down. And with about a 1.5 feet to spare, Bernard Span hauls it in.
So here's Moncada. Takes ball one. Johan 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Two and nothing. Three and 0. Sox come in hitting at .253 as a club with a 4.90 team ERA. There's one.
One things you can't look for if you're a right-hand hitter, and Yoan is a switch hitter, facing him from the left side. But Samardzija not going to walk many right-hand hitters. He's walked just 10 of 362 he's faced. That's among the best in baseball.
Well, that's one of the reasons you always look at the opposing player, the guy you're going to face that night. Now, see, those are the numbers. I don't like all the analytics and sabermetrics, as you well know, but there are a lot of numbers in baseball that are great.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
If you tell me if I'm hitting against Samardzija tonight, that
he's not going to walk.
He's not going to walk. Boy, I'll tell you what, that just tells you a couple things. First of all, it tells you he's not afraid to throw a strike. He's not afraid of the bat. And you're probably going to get a good pitch to hit because that ball hit hard. Good play by Crawford. So 2 hard hit balls.
Yeah, Crawford's just an outstanding shortstop. Did not have a real good game last night, but that doesn't diminish what he's done for his career, which is and under the radar again, because you don't hear that much about him. But he's among the best in baseball defensively, and he swings the bat certainly well enough.
Well, there's no sense in trying to get him from the Giants.
He's got a really good contract, controllable through 2021.
Well, good players should have those good contracts. It's the guys who can't play who get good contracts to kill you. Breaking ball to Abreu. Cheapest player, as a rule, in any business that you have, especially in baseball, basketball, football, hockey, whatever it may be, is the guy who makes the most money if, in fact, he earns it.
Jeff Samardzija is 16 under 500 for his career. And the Giants, knowing that he not only will take the baseball, but probably hang around for over 200 innings each and every year, they paid him a great deal of money.
That ball hit high and deep to right field. Stretch. Pins back. You can put it on the board. Yes. And it is 1-0 good guys.
1 away from the 30 mark for Jose Abreu. 15 away from the coveted 100 driven in. That was 29 and 85 on the power numbers, and Jose went the opposite way. And we told you about the wind blowing toward right field. Jose doesn't need a whole lot of help. This one helped him just a bit. That fastball is down, and Jose hits it out.
So here's Nicky. 274, 6 homers, 12 driven in. And of course, with that home run by Abreu, a generous donation to White Sox charities from the Alex Nelius family in loving memory of Ursula.
That home run tied Jeff Samardzija for the team lead. 25 home runs given up.
There's a shot base hit into left field. So everybody, the first 4 have just hammered it. So with 1 in, 1 on, 2 out, let's check out our picks to click. Vans went with Tim. Cruz going with Adaming. Steve's going with Avi. And David Novak and all the great folks at Boogie Hyundai. Down the Grove tonight, we're going to go with Sanchez. And here is Avi. Avi, a 2-run homer last night for our only 2 tallies.
Off-speed breaking ball. Avi fouled it off.
Pretty good pitch to hit. He made a pretty good pass at it, just underneath it.
Normally you wouldn't swing at anything spinning on the first pitch, but that one came in, looked a bit like a piñata. It was just hanging right there. Right. So even if you don't swing at something breaking on the first pitch, that was very swingable.
Well, if you get something hanging like that, that was a semi-hanger.
Yeah.
Long set. That is high into right field. Hunter Pence. So that'll retire the side, but not before the Sox get on the board, and here's why. Here's Pablo Sandoval. 4 RBIs, had a big 3-run homer and a sacrifice fly last evening. We mentioned Giolito. Giolito threw the ball well last night, but he made a huge mistake to Sandoval with a couple of guys on. Pablo was 0 for 39, and he threw him a high straight change.
Yeah, not a good occurrence.
That ball hit pretty well in the left center, so that's out number 1. Sox fans, for the first time ever, our White Sox are offering a limited edition cancer ribbon White Sox cap, and a portion of every cap sold will aid White Sox charities and Rush University Medical Center in supporting cancer research. Caps are available in the park and at the Chicago Sports Depot, also online for a limited time. Visit chicagosportsdepot.com. Here's Pence. Yeah, when a guy's struggling like Pablo was, you definitely, the last thing you want to do is throw him something off speed up to speed up his bat.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the end result.
Giolito's impressive.
Hawk, I think we're just scratching the surface of what Lucas Giolito can be, because he's a confident guy anyway, and with the 2 great performances he had back-to-back, he realized he belongs here. And with his stuff, that's a very frightening situation for the hitters around the American League, because he's got good stuff.
As a rule, the biggest critic you got is the mirror.
You're right. I mean, we're, as performers in anything, we are our harshest critics.
Right. You know, Paul Richards, former catcher in the major leagues, former manager in the major leagues, former general manager with the White Sox and the Atlanta Braves. And he and I played a lot of golf together because he used to rob me. I mean, it wasn't he didn't call me the hawk. He called me his pigeon.
You were his annuity?
So, yeah. I never had a chance before the first ball was hit. I didn't have a chance to choke it. I was beat already. But he told me one day I was struggling a little bit. And he said, son, he said, I'm going to tell you something. He said, you know, good hitters are not born. Good hitters go out there, they work their behind off, they pay the price. And one day they get up and they look in that mirror, and the mirror looks at you, and he says, you can play up here. That's foul. And that's exactly what happened with me. I was struggling. And we were playing the White Sox, as a matter of fact. Joe Horland was pitching. I was with Kansas City. And I'd been working very hard. And I had started, that mirror started to like what he was looking at.
Someone standing behind you?
You know, which one is for you?
I've already figured that one out, but thanks.
So, sure enough, the White Sox were in town, and Horland was pitching, and I couldn't hit him with a paddle. But I went to the ballpark. There's a ground ball. Timmy on the move. And that is out number 2. And I looked at the lineup card, and Alvin Dark was the manager, and Ramon Webster was playing first base, and I was not playing. And I went in to Alvin's office, and I said, Alvino, I got to play tonight. He said, Kenneth, he said, Horland's pitching. You don't do very well against him. I said, Alvin, I got to play tonight. And evidently, the way I said it, this is tough for a manager to do. Post a lineup card, and then go take it down and change it.
For a guy coming out with with no injury, yeah, that's tough.
He did it. He changed. And the first pitch that Joel threw me was a slider down in me. He had a Jim Dandy. And I hit a rocket right back through the middle, missed his head about maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet. And from that point on, let's put it this way. At the time I was making $12,000. 2.5 months later, I signed for $150,000 with the Red Sox.
Well, that was a good insertion into the lineup.
It was the mirror.
That young man, if he looked in the mirror, he would see some very tasty nachos. There you go. Wait, don't take it away. I'm still working on that.
Ground ball takes that's a nice Cantini bounce to Sanchez, throws him out. A nice 1-2-3 inning, and we'll go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 good guys.
.com and click on the Game Zone for the latest stats and information. Dodd Camera, family owned and serving Chicagoland for over 125 years. Dodd Camera, where the focus is on you.
Here's Omar. Narvaez hitting at .269, a couple of homers, 14 knocked in. Home run by Jose Abreu. If you're just tuning in, his 29th, picking up his 95th RBI. Into the bullpen in right field. Or check that, 85. Here's the 1-1. Good rip. Good pass at it.
And congratulations to all of the players on the Kannapolis farm team. They won 3-1. That means they go to the finals in the South Atlantic League. So one more team standing in their way for the championship as Gavin Sheets hits a home run. And the pitching was excellent.
Panic. 1 out. Well, when you talk to a lot of scouts as I do. You got all the scouts who have seen some of our minor league clubs play. They just shake their heads.
Well, they're going to get consistently better because a lot of the talent is very young, and they're going to make their way through the system. And the one thing they do know, being in the White Sox organization, is they do call young players to the major leagues. You will get a chance if you do anything well in the minor leagues. You're going to get a shot up here because that's been the history of the White Sox.
It has been history, and especially that ball hit high and deep. Stretch. Stand back. Looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes.
That's a 16th home run for Tim Anderson. Now driven in 49. Spring training, talking about Tim Anderson and watching him and watching the exit velocity on balls that just shot through the infield. And of course it was Arizona, but you could tell he was a very strong man. And I said at the time, starting this season, that he's going to hit 20 home runs. I just didn't believe it would be this year, and he's knocking at the door. This is 16. It's a low fastball, and he rides it out. He's just getting better and better, and with it, that fielding is going to smooth out. I believe the fielding this year has been somewhat of an aberration.
Well, the talent is there.
Well, he's really talented.
He still has to learn more about the nuances of playing shortstop.
There's no doubt. There is no doubt. But he was late to the game of baseball. I mean, he was a terrific basketball player. And learning in the major league level is not easy.
Well, he's catching a break because he's playing this season, his first full start, so to speak, with a team that's not expected to contend. And that takes some pressure off.
He also learned a little something because he had to learn this, something that you don't want to go through, and that is a lot of pressure off the field for occurrences that he had no control over. And he's learning how to compartmentalize. All young players have to do it, because when you walk on the field, you leave your personal life, put it on the shelf, and go from there.
Rob gets down right there.
I think Tim has learned that this year. It was not an easy year for him off the field, but he's come back now, and you look at the power, you look at the exit velocity, just watch his overall game, and you realize that he has a lot of tools. Now bringing them forth is the key.
Well, I lost my best friend one year, and I'll tell you what, to this day, and that was a long time ago, to this day I still think about it often.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult thing for a young player who's just trying to feel like he belongs in the major leagues, then throw in some off the field issues, most of them not any way, shape, or form what he did, just the way life works. And so for a while it was very difficult for him.
What he's got going for him offensively is the fact he's got he's got a great release of the bat. And that'll tell you two things. It'll tell you he's got strong hands and strong wrists.
Can you teach that? Or is it just
not too much?
So that's
God-given.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look at Bad Henry. Aaron. Henry was not a big guy.
He also wasn't a home run hitter. He was a line drive hitter when he came up.
Well, he had 25 home runs one year in the Sally League. He was with Jacksonville. I was a visiting club bat boy, and he tied Tom Giordano for the league in the Sally for 25 home runs. But he was wiry, wispy, but I'll tell you what, he released that bat, and when he did, you could almost hear it coming through that zone.
He and Don Baylor were similar hitters in that when they came into the league, they both were line drive hitters. And then as they got older and stronger and knew what pitchers were going to do, then started to hit the ball out of the park. In the case of Henry, he hit it out at a historic pace.
He did that. He gets him. Rob's saying,
I think Rob said I got a piece of it.
Yeah.
Sue Shearwater says I don't think so.
So the first strikeout for us, Margin. And that'll bring up Adam Engel. Hitting a 173, 5 homers, 15 knocked in.
There's a break. It's a pretty good pitch.
That was a strike. Good pitch. Sarge is 6'5", 225 pounds. And his alma mater taking on the Bulldogs of Georgia tonight.
Boy, there were, because the Bears are playing the Falcons, there were so many people from Georgia around. That's all you saw walking down the streets.
Well, my daughter just texted me. She said half the stadium is red.
Yeah, not surprising. I think they were all in downtown Chicago up until game time.
I've got a ton of my friends from Savannah came up with this thing. A ton of my classmates at military school, Benedictine, came up with this game. Now, they all wanted to stay with me. I said, hey, I'm pulling for Notre Dame. That's off the plate. Yeah, I drove by the school coming up here yesterday, and I want to tell you, there were more Bulldog vans and buses.
They were starting tailgating a bit early.
Oh. Got him. But the home run by Anderson and his 2-0 Sox.
Looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. Solo shot for the run. Tim Raines and the Sox lead it 1-0.
It is with my great pleasure to introduce our guest in the booth, Hall of Famer Tim Rock Raines. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, guy. I appreciate it.
Did you think it was going to happen?
There were times where I wasn't sure,
Right.
but last year when I finished with close to 70%, I felt like my chances with a year left was as good as it was going to ever get.
Well, most of us thought it was way too late. Should have been there a lot earlier.
Well, I used to think that too, but you know what? Now I've heard that better late than never. I'm just happy that that day has come. Even though it take a long time, you know, it's nothing more special to finally have that day come, and then you go through induction weekend and leading up to induction weekend. It's been very special.
Well, knowing you, every club you played with, you had a great time. You did a great job. You had a lot of fun. You were one of the best liked guys on every team you ever been on. And everybody that I've talked to, all of our guys that were back in the day when you were here, they're also happy for you. And there's a shot, get foul, it will. And I know Little Rock has got to be absolutely thrilled. His son, Little Rock.
Tell you what, he's my biggest supporter. It seems like every year after the voting, he found out I didn't get in, he'll give me a call and say, "What the heck?" He didn't probably say that, but you know, what is going on? What are people waiting for? I mean, what's happening? And I'm like, chill out, son. Everything will be okay. So.
Well, you did get there, and the great part about it is not only do you deserve it, but they can't take it away. You're there.
I'm there now. There's nothing they can do about it. There's no recounting the votes.
A recount.
So you know, it's very special. I'm humbled. It's something that you know, as a kid, you don't think about it. You know, you hope to just get there. And I was lucky enough to get there early and lucky enough to play for a long period of time to be able to get in this position, and it all worked out.
Who was the best player that you played with, a teammate of yours? Because I know you came up with some great Montreal teams and then, you know, made the rounds after that. But who was the best?
Yeah, it's going to be
Wow.
You had a great one up there in Montreal, too.
Well, you know, it's hard to kind of say one. You know, Andre Dawson, I think, was probably the best player that I ever really played with. He played the outfield. He played. He hit with power. Hit for an average. He drove in runs. He's a Golden Glove outfielder. He stole bases, even though he had the worst legs I ever seen a guy have in the game. But it's kind of hard to say, man. It's hard to say. I mean, Frank Thomas is probably the greatest hitter I ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, Vladimir Guerrero. I mean, I played with that kid. So, I mean, and I can probably name some other guys, you know, Derek Jeter over here in New York and you know. So
I thought he was overrated.
You know, a lot of people say that they're probably from Chicago or somewhere else.
Derek Jeter's one of my all-time heroes in this game, so no overrating at all when you look at his body of work.
But you know, I also played with Cal Ripken. I mean, I played with him for a week. So I've been fortunate, you know, to play with and against a lot of great players. And it's just hard to say. It's just so many great players I've had an opportunity to play with or against.
Well, you had so many great games, stealing bases. I mean, on and on and on. At one time, one of the better fastball hitters in the game. Is there anything that, when your time with us and the White Sox, anything that really sticks out in your mind?
Well, just, you know, I enjoyed the whole 5 years here. I mean, even though, you know, things didn't work out after.
Hold on 1 second. Are you going to stay with us?
Yeah, for sure.
We'll be back with Hall of Famer Tim Raines.
Chicagoland viewers, text Subway to 97999 right now, and the 300th texter is going to win a $30 gift card to a Subway restaurant in the Chicagoland area. Subway, so much sandwich.
And joining us still is Hall of Famer Tim Raines. There have been a lot of people as that ball hit hard by Yolmer into actually a little high. He hit the ball very hard his first at bat deep into center field, so 1 out. But here's a man had 16 leadoff homers, hit 170 home runs, stole 808 bases. And you know, I don't know of anybody that I've known or have been around where people were more happy to see a guy go in than you were this year. You had to have your phone had to just absolutely lit up for a long time.
I tell you what, I had like over 600 text messages. I didn't think I knew that many people. And it literally took me a month to kind of have the time to really, you know, respond back to all those text messages. And I finally got it done. And it's good to see. I mean, it's good to see that so many guys enjoyed playing with me or even playing against me. I mean, I had friends outside of teammates, and you know, I was that guy I always just wanted to compete at the highest level, and regardless, you know, you have that mutual respect for the opposing team and players. And it's just mano y mano. Let's go out and let's see who's the best today. And it's not always going to be the same every day. And I just enjoyed. I enjoyed that fight. I enjoyed that competition. I enjoyed going out there and best against the best. I mean, I felt like I had my best games when the top pitchers was out there. You know,
we got Jose.
That's what Hall of Famers do.
Jose Abreu's done that. He kills Cy Young Award winners. Each and every one of them. He just kills them because he's up for the challenge. I assume you wanted that challenge.
Yes, definitely.
Well, you ought to see him on the golf course. Him and Little Rock both. They beat Casey now one day down at Southern Dunes. Remember that?
Remember that.
But you know one thing about Rock, when people talk about you and ask me about Tim Raines, there have been a few guys in my career that I can honestly say Frank Howard was one, Tim Raines was another, and a couple other guys. I never heard them say one bad word about another person. Not one time is Tim Raines I've ever heard him say, in all the times we've talked, one bad thing about anybody. And that's very unusual.
You know, that's where I think it comes from respect. I think I respected everyone regardless if you were a nice guy or a bad guy. As long as we have that mutual respect for each other. And even if you didn't like me, you know, as long as it's, you know, if you don't say nothing to me, I won't say anything to you, but I'll still have that same amount of respect for what you do. And hopefully you have that same for me. And if it didn't work out a certain way, then I stay away from around you. I mean, you know, I wouldn't put myself in position to kind of be in a position to, you know, have anything go wrong. But I've always felt like if I couldn't get along with you, no one can get along with you.
Let me ask you one question, because we see it every day. You're a switch hitter. How difficult was it to keep the same stroke from both sides of the plate? Because it's difficult enough to groove one stroke, let alone two.
I don't think you can. I don't think it's the same swing. I think you know, left-handed, I was more of a power opposite field type hitter, but right-handed, I was more of a pull hitter. You know, I didn't have the same kind of power, and that was my natural side to the opposite field, right-handed. And I think it's more because I'm right-handed and I was a top-hand dominant. So actually I had more power left-handed because my bottom hand was my strong hand. So it gave me an opportunity to drive balls the opposite way. And actually center field was probably my power zone. You know, if I got fastballs out over the plate, I wouldn't try to pull them, especially middle of the way. I'm trying to hit it out the park, the opposite field, and that's probably why you see a lot. You know, that ball you showed earlier, I hit the left center. That was where I was trying to hit the ball.
Well, you know, that's not uncommon for, you know, how guys screw around in batting practice. You get right-handed hitters hitting left-handed, left-handers hitting right-handed. Usually they can hit the ball further from the opposite side. I could hit the ball further left-handed than I could right-handed because, as you say, that was my power. That was my power hand, my power arm. And Mickey Mantle was a much better hitter right-handed, but he had more power left-handed.
Right.
That's when he hit the facade in Yankee Stadium and knocked that piece down there, or else the ball would have gone all the way out. But Rock, congratulations, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me,
and
guys.
you know what's the best part about it? You know you're loved.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Tim, congratulations.
Good
again.
seeing you guys.
Great
man.
to see you.
Good to see you.
Hall of Famer Tim Raines. What a guy. The Abreu double. That's his 37th double. He's now 2 for 2 with that homer. Tell Little Rock I said hello, would you? You know, that's unusual, Stevie, as you well know. To know some people who never said one bad word about anybody.
Well, yeah, it's just this side of unbelievable.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, that's the kind of guys they were.
Frank Howard.
I heard just great things about Frank.
Yeah.
Met him a couple of times, but didn't interact with him very much. And I knew Tim, of course, and Tim was and he is a terrific guy.
Oh yeah. Well, he's one of those guys you can time, but you can't beat him. So there's a walk to Nicky. That's very unusual for Samardzija. That's his first walk. Sonny told you earlier. He didn't walk many guys.
No, he's got excellent control.
186 strikeouts, 29 walks. So here's Avi. He told me Little Rock is the hitting coach now in the Oriole organization.
Sox had a bit of a rally in the first inning. After 2 were out, nobody was on. Here in the third, there was 2 out, nobody on before the double and the walk.
I didn't care for that.
Here's the look that Eric Cooper had at first base. Avi thought he had checked it up. I think because he did, but did not get the benefit of the call.
He did check it up.
Yep.
Sure water. He's the one that called it. That's up high. And the count 2-1.
Avi can just get the ball up to right center field. He's got a good shot of hitting it out. Hit the ball fairly well the first time up.
Well, he just missed that one.
Yeah, flying out to Pence, but looked like he's on a lot of the pitches that Samardzija's throwing, except up there.
2 on, 2 out. 2-2 the count. If you're just tuning in, home run by Abreu, home run by Tim Anderson. Out and around that one. And Sox fans, join us as our Sox take on the Angels for our final home game of the season on Thursday, September 28th at 7:10. And the first 10,000 fans will receive a special fan-designed T-shirt presented by the Village of Bedford Park. All the good folks at Bedford Park. Bring your business home to Bedford Park and win big. So get your tickets today at whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME.
That had a good piece of the hand, but it was ruled a foul ball. Once again, the 2-2.
Boy, he had a good rip at that one, just underneath it.
Jeff tipped that pitch off because he slowed down his motion. That was an off-speed pitch right in the middle of the plate. And Samardzija very lucky to get away with it. That was
a cookie.
Literally right in the middle of the plate. I don't know how he got a piece of that. But that ball was a good foot plus outside, and he was able to foul it off the end of the bat to keep the at bat alive. On pitch number 9, an extended at bat for Avi, still shaking off the effects of that tight fastball in on the hands.
Span playing him over towards Pinson, right? Nice gap in left center. Up and in, and a full count.
See, Hundley wants it inside. It's not that far inside.
Two 4-0 for us. No runs, 1 hit. No errors for them. They're in the bottom of the 3rd. Second of this 3-game set. 9-2 Giants last evening. And the finale tomorrow, Madison Bumgarner against Carson Fulton. Finally, Samardzija wins that battle, and we're into the 4th.
Ten-day DL, retroactive to September 1st. He's had leg problems. Now he has a left hamstring difficulty. You look at those numbers, they are Hall of Fame numbers for Adrian Beltre. The injury report is brought to you by Dr. Anthony Romeo, proud member of Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Go to rushorthopedics.com or call 312-432-2342.
And they left off one of the biggest things about Adrian, the defense.
Plenty of that over the years.
Not too many guys better than he is. Posey had a little chopper over the head of, just over the head of Shields. That's a little Kansas City special for the only hit thus far by the Giants. Big gap, huge gap in right center. Three and 0. There's one. Watch out.
Well, hopefully everybody's okay, because that one went pinwheeling into the seats. And apparently everyone is okay. That is very fortunate. There's so many people and some not paying attention, but fortunately in the one spot where there are a number of empty seats, and there's not many spots like that down close to the field, this one landed and everybody walks away happy.
And the 3-2. Just a roller right there, and that's where if he hit it hard, it was going.
Well, James wanted to keep that ball away from Posey. Instead, it stayed not even on the inside corner. It was about 3-4 inches inside, and that man very happy with that souvenir.
He should be. He's got a good jersey on.
He's got the Blackhawks sweater.
I love Blackhawks.
They should have a real good team again this year.
And once again, the 3-2. Nice little pick, peg, and that's out number one. Well, to me, when the Blackhawks are healthy, to me, they're the most fun team to watch in all sports, bar none.
Yeah, last year a bit disappointing for them, but they should bounce back in a big way this year.
Here's Brandon. Crawford walked back in the first.
This is off the bat of Buster Posey, giving the young man the ball, and he says, I really like this. Now let me throw it back. It got intercepted on its way back toward the field of play. So maybe they'll retain that souvenir.
That's foul. So 2-2 the count. Yeah, a couple of years ago, Jeremy Roenick and I were playing golf. He told me Blackhawks the best team. He said, "Hawk, those guys make other teams look like high school teams when they're healthy."
Yeah, I was to say they can do that.
Ask if you saw that. I don't do Facebook or YouTube or any of those things, but a friend of mine sent me a thing, and I was there the day it happened. That video of Ronick playing in the member guest at Bay Hill.
No, I've never seen it.
On the 6th hole, it's a par 5, dogleg left around a huge lake. And here's the 2-2 pitch. That's popped up. That's playable. That's Yolmer. And that's out number 2. So they're getting ready to play this par 5, dogleg left. All of a sudden, Jeremy sticks somebody's videotaping this alligator over there on the side of the lake. Takes off his shirt and he says, "Now get this one." All of a sudden, he turns around, he goes running, and he dives right on the back of the alligator. It's about a 7-foot. Scared that alligator to death, and they went boom right into the lake.
He did get hit in the head a few times during his career, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I have to say that.
I would think so. Jumping on alligators is not a way to stay healthy. Even for a hockey player.
That's high in the center field. That's can of corn fighting that win a little bit, though, as Adam makes the catch. And that is another 1-2-3 inning for James Shields. Here's Jeremy.
So you're sure that's not a fake alligator?
No, what? See. I was there that day. I didn't see it happen. Somebody told me he took his shirt off. He didn't. He just sure no went after it.
He's lucky he wasn't a hungry alligator.
So here we go. Omar will lead it off. He grounded out to second base to Joe Panic. That's high into short center. Bernard Span make that play for out number 1. Join the White Sox team by becoming a member of the free WhiteSox.com blacklist. So get the latest breaking news, see the latest video features, enjoy special ticket offers, and more. So visit WhiteSox.com/blacklist to register today. Here's Anderson. He homered his 16th in the second inning. That's in the hole. Crawford can't get him. Good effort by Brandon Crawford.
That was just a great play by Crawford. But for the speed of Anderson, he gets him at first base. He's going to get a whole lot of people with this exact play. But he doesn't get 10. He's now 2 for 2 as he's hustling all the way, sniffing a base hit. And Crawford gets a lot on the throw, and it's right there, but can't get it there in time.
Here's Brantley. Tags it up, takes ball 1.
It's a pretty good opportunity to run for Tim Anderson. Samardzija doesn't use the slide step a whole lot, and at least on the first pitch he used the high leg kick.
And he's 7 for 8 in that category. And the count 2-0. Good take by Rob right there. He's got a very unusual entry into his position in the box. Put a good pass on it underneath it. Wren knocking it down.
Time now for the Ryan Kelly home field facts, and it centers on Jeff Samardzija when he was a White Sox player in this ballpark in 2015. He was 5-8, an ERA of 5.33. Gave up the 17 home runs in 16 starts. Then he did eventually move to one of the best pitchers parks in baseball, and that's in San Francisco. Home field facts brought to you by Ryan Kelly, the HomeLoanExpert.com.
So here's Adam. He struck out his first trip. Takes low and away. And there's the base hit. Good boy, Adam. And here's Ulmer. He's going out to Denard span twice in center field, once very deep. I think Ulmer thought that ball was out of here, as did I, and I think Steve felt the same way.
Yeah, I mean, he hit it. He hit a whole lot of it. The problem was it was just too high, and the wind had its opportunity and took it to bat it down, keep it in the park.
Two on, two out. Takes first pitch strike. That ball hit deep. He looks up. You can put it on the ball. Yes. Yes. 3-run homer for Sanchez, and it's 5-0 White Sox.
That's another the 11th home run, but now Yolmer's driven in 50 runs. Yolmer's gotten his opportunity, and it doesn't matter where Rick Renteria plays him. He just keeps coming through.
He's had quietly one of the best seasons of any guy on our club.
It's a terrific year from start to finish, and he wants to finish it with a flourish. James Shields very happy to be the beneficiary of a 5 spot early.
Yeah, David Novak's Pick to Click and all the good folks at Boogie Hyundai in Downers Grove.
Third home run given up by Samardzija, firmly entrenching him with the team lead. It's 27 home runs he's given up. That was a spinning breaking ball that didn't do a whole lot, and Yomer did a whole lot with it.
Yohan has grounded to short, and he has gone out to center. Three and one. Now make it 3-2. Got him, but not before. A 3-run homer by Yomer Sanchez, and it is 5-0 Sox.
And at that time, we thought, everybody else thought that he had a broken knee. As it turned out, well, he's making this start and throwing exceptionally well. So a great result to that. But a similar occurrence in 1976. Ron LaFleur up. Line drive shattered his left knee. And unfortunately, that's exactly what we thought James Shields was going to have to deal with, and it hit him in the best spot it could have hit him in.
Well, I talked to him before the game. He said the doctor told him if he had hit it 2 centimeters more to his right, it would have shattered his kneecap.
Yeah, if it does that, well then, I mean, I'm not sure how much left in the tank for him if he has to spend a year on the shelf, but it's a non-event, and he's come out throwing very well here tonight.
Wilbur, boy, there's a blast from the past out of Belmont, Massachusetts. He was a terrific individual, terrific guy. I had played against Wilbur in the Eastern League. He didn't have a knuckleball then. He was meat.
Well, he used to tell us all, I got the best curveball in his staff. And I used to tell him, well, then why don't you throw it if it's so good?
That's down into the right field corner. Get foul. It will.
Wilbur was one of the few.
Wilbur had a good curveball.
I know, but he was one of the few left-handed knuckleballers, and really, I mean, made his place in the major leagues as a knuckleballer from the left side, which is something that You very rarely see it.
Well, I faced him before he had a knuckleball. I faced Phil Necro before he had a knuckleball. I faced Joe Necro before he had.
And you knew then why they came
They
up with
went
the
with the
knuckleball.
knuckleball.
Yeah.
To this day, it just amazes me as that's popped up high. It's a big league pop up. Tim is there. So 1 out, but it just amazes me to this day. You and I've talked about this numerous times over the years. Why teams don't take. You got 3 tiers of pitchers. You got the top tier, and that's the smallest tier, of course. That's where you really major league good ones.
Well, yeah, the
The
number
biggest
ones
is in the middle. That's the biggest tier. That's where you got a lot of wannabe and serviceable type pitchers, and then you got the lower tier, which these guys got no chance hardly at all. But they have a pretty good arm. Why they don't take them down and get a knuckleball guy, teach them how to throw the knuckleball? You got nothing to lose, and if you get one out of that bunch, it's worth every penny you spend.
And then some. If you can find a major league starter, it sure is.
It's a staff saver.
Well, look, Bruce Sutter was on his way out of baseball, and a guy named Fred Martin, who was a pitching coach, said to him, "You know what? Your stuff a little shaky. I got something for you. I think it's going to help you out and maybe keep you in the league for a few more years." Well, it put him in the Hall of Fame. It was a splitter. He was taught the splitter. His stuff was not good, but that splitter was outstanding and earned him a Hall of Fame nod.
Well, the splitter when it first came out really was serviceable 2 ways. Remember, wasn't it Brian Harvey?
Yep.
That's one of the hardest splitters. And to this day, I maintain it wasn't a splitter. It was a splitter because they look the same coming in.
They actually are coming in the same. Yeah, the spitter's a little faster though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Pence. He gone.
Pablo Sandoval hit a towering fly ball, and Yomer is there with Tim going through a shadow catch of a pop-up.
The phantom pop-up.
Well, they might get to the situation that they do in Texas when Beltre is healthy and Andrus is shortstop. He's trying to do everything he can to aggravate Beltre, even on the field of play. He'll stand right next to him on a pop-up and then not move.
Well, 2 guys that outwardly have more fun playing the game than any 2 guys in this league, Beltre and Miguel Cabrera.
No doubt.
You know, best wishes go out to Victor Martinez, going through a heart procedure. I believe it might be an ablation.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's what I was talking to Terry the other day, Francona. You know, he was under for 10 hours. 10 hours he was under when they did his ablation.
Well, hopefully it cures the arrhythmia, and I think that's probably why they want to do that procedure. Terry's had all kinds of problems, and hopefully they're behind him. He's a terrific guy, a wonderful manager, and just a great representative of baseball.
And if those players over there love him.
Oh yeah, they should.
And if you notice, they've won what 17 in a row now.
And
that sometimes can bring a club, something like that can bring a club together, whether it's a player or a manager or a certain coach or whatever. You got to have a common bond. You got to have some sort of a common bond, and they come along all the time. The trick is to grab a hold of it with 25 guys and the coaching staff and hang on to it. It's like that fight we had in 2000 with the Tigers. That galvanized our club. That gave us a common bond. As he gone. That is 13 in a row retired by James Shields.
U.S. and we'll take a look back to the first inning. Jose Abreu goes opposite field and hits it out. 103.7 exit velocity, 27-degree launch angle, pretty much a line drive out of the ballpark. Didn't go all that far, but didn't have to, as Jose hits his 29th.
Also has a double, his 37th. '69 extra base hits.
And as he has shown throughout his career, he gets better as the season moves along. And right now, he is really tough to retire.
Well, certainly in his rookie year, it was unbelievable. Major league records in a couple of situations. First 2 years, only other player he did was Albert Pujols, those two. But this year to me has been the most impressive year for him. The way he started off, especially with the leather, and wasn't swinging about that well. And I'll tell you what, he just absolutely almost willed his way. He told the coaching, he said, look, I want to get out there. I want to get better defensively. And he went out there early and started working and working and working. The last 3 months, he has been a terrific first baseman. This has been a very impressive year. Maybe not as good as some of the numbers, that he's had in the past, but overall, and besides that, he has gained in stature in becoming the leader of this ball club.
Well, there's no doubt he had those tendencies always, but now he's learned a little more English, but he also wants to be the go-to guy. And as the best player on the team,
you have to earn that, that's what he's doing.
There's no doubt. And pretty much leading by example up until this year, where he actually started to take some control in certain areas that in years past he might have stayed away from.
Delmonico on deck. Got him upstairs. Five strikeouts now for Jeff. And a reminder, see your name in lights in an upcoming Sox game. Celebrate a birthday, an anniversary, and more with a scoreboard message. Jeff Chanel and his guys will take care of you. Proceeds also benefit White Sox charities. So book your message. Visit whitesox.com/scoreboard. Great crew, Jeff Chanel and his bunch. Nicky is 1 for 1, a sharp single in the left field and also a base on balls.
Bruce Bochy knows that at the 89 pitch mark, Jeff Samardzija is not going to go deep into this game.
Bruce told me yesterday, sometimes he just can't get him out of there.
He's got a very good manager to pitch for. Give him every opportunity to do what he has to do.
That's one of the keys.
And when you look at Bochy in his 11th year, only Dusty Baker has more career wins than Bruce Bochy. He He's 15th all-time on the list. 12 of the 14 in front of him are in the Hall of Fame. There's no reason to assume that he will not be there also.
That ball hit high and deep into right center field. Stretch, pinch back, looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes. Number 16 for Javi. Second in 2 nights. And it's 6-0.
Javi's driven in 67, and Samardzija has been touched for 4 home runs in a park he used to call home. In a city he called home 2 different times. Time now for a Mazda replay cam. And this looked like a slider or a cutter. Stayed on one plane, and Javi took it out.
So here's Omar. He's 0 for 2 with a grounder to second. And a fly out to center.
First time we've seen the San Francisco bullpen start to stir.
Panic. He can pick it. And that'll retire the side, but we'll go to the 6th, leading by 6.
An official White Sox debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/White Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank, member FDIC.
6-0. Ball hit high in the right field. Bobby now back on the track. So Jones is retired, first out. The Sox fans host the pregame patio party of the season. Receive a game ticket and enjoy an all-you-can-eat buffet and all-inclusive wine, beer, and Coke products. Now, the patio opens 90 minutes prior to the game and closes 30 minutes after the start of the game. To get your tickets, visit whitesox.com/group. Bertucci boys, Bobby Bruno and Handsome Anthony, they'll take care of you.
I think Bobby Bertucci is going to have that knee operated on here in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
So we certainly wish him well with that. In the meantime, the only hit of the game, a single in the first inning by Buster Posey. That's been it. Then James walked Crawford and retired everybody else.
Span has struck out and gone out to center. Three-one pitch. Get over there. He will. 2 down, and that is 15 in a row retired by James.
You know, when the Giants came to town, there were a lot of articles written about this being a draft choice game, intimating that there are teams who are, I won't say trying to lose, but teams that don't mind losing. But I think we need to put that to rest as far as the Sox are concerned, and every team I've been associated with. The players don't care about rebuilding, and they know the team's going to be good a few years down the road. But they go out each and every game to win on a specific night. You cannot tell a pitcher to back off at all. You can't tell a hitter, don't get a base hit here. I mean, these guys are trying to win each and every game. And Ricky Renteria is managing like each and every game is of critical importance, because in the grand scheme of things, it is. Not for the standings this year, but for laying a foundation for the future. And these guys go out every night, play as hard as they possibly can, but you know, it's an under-talented group in a rebuilding year.
Well, I've seen some players and played with some players, as you have, who sometimes didn't play as hard as they could. But I've never seen a player, ever heard of a player who went out and wanted to lose a ball game.
No, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you look at it, say, well, you know, if we get a higher draft pick, that's good. But on a day-to-day basis, you can't play like that.
Well, if you want to put baseball in perspective, it's an individual game. If you got 9 guys out on that field who want to do what they can do best from an individual standpoint, then it morphs into a team. It's an individual game.
That's the best scenario when the team as a group starts to believe in itself.
Look at the Braves, 14 consecutive divisional titles down there. One of the big reasons were the threesome they had, one on that Smoltz, Glavine, and the Mad Dog.
Yeah, for a while Avery was in there, and I mean they
just fed off each other.
Yeah.
Top you, a top you, a top you. Panic. Going out to right, grounded to second. Second walk issued by James. And here's Posey, had that little chopper infield single and a grounder out to second. Checks it up, takes strike one.
That was a good pitch, exactly where James wanted to throw it. He dropped down sidearm, which he's been doing quite a bit of, and painted the outside corner.
It's out of play. High in the right field. It is there. That'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth. It is 6-0. Good guys.
James Shields still had the stuff to be an ace on a major league staff.
Since coming over, he's wanted to do, like anywhere he's been, he's wanted to do well. I think that by making the adjustments as he has made, he's made himself again a major league pitcher that gives their club an opportunity, by contending the opponents to a particular number of runs, a chance to win a ball game.
Bottom of the sixth inning. Anderson is homered and singled. He'll be followed by Brantley and Engel. Just tuning in, we scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 4 home runs. One by Abreu, one by Anderson, one by Sanchez, and one by Avi. One out.
The sixth inning is brought to you by Meyer, true Chicago fans.
So here's Rob, 0 for 2. Last time went out to center field.
The knuckleballing Rob Brantley. He picked up an inning, gave up a home run, but I'm sure had a really good time going to the mound in a blowout game.
He turned that one over a little bit. Misses. And the count 1-1.
Giant pen working once again as Jeff's about to deliver pitch number 102.
Trying to come back. Can't quite get there. And checking some other scores for you. Boston leading Tampa Bay 9-0, bottom of the 5th at Fenway. Minnesota, I'll tell you, they are really playing well. They are leading Kansas City 2-1. That's the bottom of the 6th at Kauffman Stadium. Pittsburgh at St. Louis. Glenn Hurl just signing a new 4-year extension. Glenn Hurl, one of the nicest guys in the game of baseball, one of the best competitors, and one heck of a manager.
And a well-deserved extension because he's done a nice job there.
You better believe it. Pokes that one into left field. And it's going to be foul. Other scores, Milwaukee beat the Cubs 15-2. Oakland dumped Houston 11-1 out at the Coliseum. Yankees beat Texas 3-1. Robertson David picking up the win. Cleveland 17 in a row.
They're planning, I guess, on not losing the rest of the year. Be a nice winning streak they're putting together. 17 straight games. Wow.
Yeah. It's that old saying, it's not who you play, but when you play them.
Well, you certainly didn't want to play Cleveland the last few weeks because they're getting the starting pitching that's shutting down every offense, and then their guys are averaging over 7 runs a game in this streak.
Yeah, when you can run Kluber and Carrasco.
Tomlin has
as
much
a good
guts as
pitcher.
anybody out there.
He is a good pitcher. And he will battle you behind.
And not afraid of anything, which is a good portion of the battle for a major league starting pitcher.
That's high, span. Salazar, Carrasco, and all of a sudden you got a face Kluber.
Yeah, and then if they happen to weaken it all,
Clevenger's not all bad either.
No, but then you have the bullpen coming in, and when Andrew Miller is healthy, you can't hit anybody out there anyway.
No.
So that's going to be it for Jeff Samardzija. He's going to depart, throwing 106 pitches with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. So as he walks out, we will step out and be back after these messages. By Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media because Nationwide is on your side. We got a new pitcher in the ball game. It is Derek Law. So Samardzija goes 5 2/3. Law comes on for the 35th time, 3-1 with an ERA just below 5.5. Been called on to save a few games. Successful in 4 of 5. The opponent's batting average of 326. That's usually not going to get it done.
There's first pitch strike to Adam, who is 1 for 2. Sharp single into left field. 4th inning.
Lowe was drafted by the Giants in the 9th round in 2011. He had a fine year last year with these Giants. 2.13 ERA, 61 appearances, a 4-2 record, all out of the bullpen, and he was able to record 1 save.
Just got a piece of it.
Eric's dad was a former major leaguer, but just barely. He was in the A's system for 9 years. He spent a total of 4 days on a major league roster, but he was on a major league roster. He floated behind Adams' head.
Marlins leading Atlanta 5-4, and guess what?
Stan hit a home run.
Correct.
Well, he hardly ever does that. What's it, 54?
54.
That's pretty good. The Giants did serve some notice that they might be an interested party if the new ownership group with the Marlins decides they want to part ways with Stanton, because that park is not too big for him. It's too big for mortal guys, not him.
As he gets him, and we're into the 7th, leading 6-0.
Stanley, guaranteed tough, offering total job site solutions.
Here's Brandon Crawford, the shortstop, the cleanup hitter. Takes it down low. He has walked. And he is popped up to Sanchez at third base. Sox trying to square up this series at a game apiece. And that's popped up. Anderson going back, making the call. And a reminder that MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live White Sox baseball. You can get White Sox home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast, news, and more. So download MLB.com at bat and do it today. Catcher Nick Hundley. He was robbed of probably 2 RBIs on a brilliant catch by Avi in the first inning. Sliding, had to go a long way for it. Reached out and made the play. Stunning catch.
This looks tonight like James Shields, who started this year throwing the ball exceptionally well. Then had a few problems. Going on the disabled list for the first time in his career, which is remarkable in itself.
It is 6-1.
That was a blast. Hundley got a fastball, and he got it right down the middle and didn't miss it. That's his 8th home run this year. He's now driven in 30 runs, and that's the first hit since the Posey single in the first inning. This one stayed on the inner third. Omar wanted it away. James, who has hit his spots with just about everything tonight, missed his spot there, and that was a blast.
Against the wind on a chilly evening. Yes, it was. Yohan's got him. So Pablo is retired. Pablo drove in 4 runs last night, a 3-run homer and a sacrifice fly.
You would think one way or the other this would be the last inning for James Shields. He's at 101 pitches, and the bullpen has been up this entire inning. But what a job by James Shields tonight.
I was watching that game on TV when he got that line shot off his kneecaps, or close to his kneecap.
Yeah, that by their young catcher Mejia.
And I said to myself, he gone.
Yeah, I think James felt the same way.
He did. He thought it was busted.
There's Bummer, and then Fonte loosening up in the pen.
Well, one thing about it, we know who his agent is not.
Yeah.
It's amazing how this game has become, for the most part, quote, quote, an agent's game. I remember the first player who had an agent.
And that was
Earl Wilson. Bob Wolf, who was the godfather of the agents. He gone. 7th inning stretch. We lead it by 5. Features batting and pitching cages, base running areas, and skill instruction from White Sox Training Academy coaches. Now check out the latest Xfinity technology, including the X1 platform. X1 by Xfinity. It will change the way you experience TV.
Time now for a Dodge upcoming schedule. The Giants here for the finale of the homestand and the series tomorrow, and then it's off to Kansas City, Detroit, the last off day of the season on the 18th, and then Houston 4-3 before entertaining Kansas City back here. See your authorized Dodge dealer to experience the world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Go to Dodge.com and check out our powerful lineup. A new pitcher coming in the ball game, and it's Josh Osik. On for the 49th time, 3-2, 5.82 ERA. Opponent's batting average at 272. That's a little bit higher than he would like, as is the whip at 1.73.
Here's Homer, big 3-run homer. First pitch strike. David Novak's pick to click along with George Jacobs.
Yomer's drive is the Ford drive. Visit your local Ford store, buyfordnow.com. That for Yomer was number 11.
Homer, one of the best personalities on the club.
You know, if he's not careful, though, he's going to wind up losing that tag of being a really good utility guy.
I don't go there.
And the tag is going to be, this is a guy that should be playing a lot, a real lot. He's had just a wonderful year.
Well, Rick Renteria knows it.
Yeah.
Rick Renteria is probably among his teammates his biggest fan.
I can understand that. He's just done everything Rick has
play
asked.
anywhere.
Yeah, he can. And hit from both sides of the plate.
And that's down the line. Just inside outside one. So now he's going to go ahead and give it a shot. He's going to make them make the play, and they can't do it.
And the ball gets away, and he's going to score.
Now he comes on in. It's 7-1.
Pretty much assured that's going to be a triple.
Triple in the E.
And we'll see where it goes. It's E4, triple E4. Yolmer slices it down the line, inside out swing, and then he's off to the races. This ball gets hung up. He knows Pence doesn't have the strongest arm around. So he decides to keep on going.
I tell you one thing, once he gets it going, he's not going to stop. You better got to throw a lasso on him.
No, but I'll tell you what he did do really well, because that play was in back of him as he went down the line. About 20 steps from second base, he picked up Nick Capra. You could tell, you could look at his head and tell that he was looking at the third base coach, who was giving him, come on down.
Oh, he's fun to watch. He's one of those guys, he gives you an extra man in the bullpen.
Yeah, he's very versatile, but again, he might be losing that swingman status.
And you know, you go to the other side of that page. That ball hit high, deep, back at the wall, looks up, you can put it on the board. Yes, you're on. And it's 8-1.
That's 5 home runs hit tonight. Just the 4th for Moncada. Drives in his 12th run and hit a towering drive from the right side, where he hasn't been quite as good as he has from the left side.
You hit a high towering drive against that wind on a cold night like that, you killed him.
Oh, he's got big power, and he drives this ball. Slater back. I think Yuan knew it was going out of the park, but he gave it the ride, and the home run trot.
Abreu. Whoa, what a swing. A homer, a double. He's 2 for 3. His little boy, Robinson, looks exactly like him.
He does. He's
exactly like him.
Yeah, he's a
I met him
a very cute little guy.
Oh, he's one of the most handsome kids you'll ever see. Look at that. That's a little, the big hurt. Frank Thomas, one of his little specialties. One-handed.
Just barely easing over the glove of Crawford. But that'll bring Dave Righetti out from the dugout. Fine pitching coach of the Giants. Jose now a triple away from the cycle. He just reaches out, guides it over the head of Crawford. And if you're going to hit for the cycle, you got to have a single in there somewhere. There it is.
I'd like to have a dozen golf balls for every time Big Hurt did that, especially to right field. Frank Thomas would get some hits sometime. Look like he was playing cricket. But you're right about Righetti. He's one of the better ones in the business.
Yeah, he's been a good pitching coach for a long time. A wonderful pitcher in his day also.
Yeah, he and I were talking before the game about when Don Drysdale changed his arm angle and straightened him out. He was really struggling. I mean, really struggling. Sent Don a tape. Don looked at Don was a great flaw picker. Changed his arm angle, and boy, he just took off from there.
Dave had one of those great left-handed sliders. We see it from Steve Carlton. He was one of those guys. Just bury it down and in. Ron Guidry, another one of those guys that would take that slider. Sparky Lyle. Bury it down and into the right-hand hitters, and they could do zero with it.
And now Andrew Miller.
Oh, yeah. That's.
Hey, Andrew Miller's in that category.
Yeah, he's pretty much state of the art. And with a bad knee, Indians are just hoping that he comes back. And they're not going to bring him back until he's 100% because they don't need him.
I'll tell you who else was in that category, too. Maybe just one little tick below was Dan Plesac. That ball hit hard, way back. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Delmonico. And it is 10-1.
7th home run by Nicky. Now he's driven in 14. 2 for 3 tonight with a walk. And the Sox keep hitting the ball out of the ballpark. And that is going to be it for Osik.
How long did, as you take another look at it, what's that pitch, 22 years?
Something like that.
Wow.
So we'll step out, be back after these messages. We're going to take a look at his numbers at AAA at Sacramento. .38 games, 3-9, 4.07 ERA. 13 of those appearances starts. But he will work out of the bullpen now, and the first man he's going to face is Avi. But Danley's defensive play is Avi coming across, sliding grab. What a play that was. See your authorized Dodge dealer to experience a world of performance? No. Yes, when you think of garages, think Danley's 773 Garages. And think about the upcoming schedule.
Well, the one thing about that catch, too, is that it appeared that he might not be able to get there. He has such a long way to go, but he did.
Yeah, he's been considerably better defensively all season long.
All speed, way out in front.
The really nice part about this year for Avi and watching him in years past and this year is he's improved in every aspect of the game this year. I mean, everything this game takes, Avi just took a step forward. Defense has been a drastic improvement.
Base running.
Everything. I mean, he's making contact. He's hitting the ball out of the park. And he is the lone all-star in the ball club. But there was no drop-off, even with wrist and hand problems. Still no drop-off.
And the best part about it?
Young.
You ain't seen nothing
No,
yet.
he's young. Yeah, that's...
Jimmy Olsen's favorite player.
You know what? He hit 7th on opening day. Things have changed a bit during the course of the year for him.
Ball hits sharply. Bobble, now picks it up, still gets it. Good play. Good shortstop.
He's got to make somewhat of a blind throw here, because once he juggles it, he's not looking anywhere close to the bag. Then the 360 spin, and the throw is still right on the money to Jones.
So here's Omar. Omar, get yourself a knock. He's 0 for 3, a couple of ground outs and a fly out to center. And that is out number 2. That'll bring up Anderson. Tim with a homer, an infield single. He's 2 for 3. Looked at that pitch nicely. Came off that one. As I mentioned earlier, Sox came in hitting .253 as a club. They have 166 home runs.
Here's one of their starting pitchers, Johnny Cueto.
Fun guy to watch. That ball hit hard. And he's going to give it a go. Hits the bag nicely. There's the throw, not in time. So Timmy going to pick up his 4th triple.
That's going to leave him a double away from the cycle. So we got 2 guys knocking at the door for a cycle, and I'm not sure if Tim will get another at bat. There's a chance Jose might get another at bat. He's a triple away from the cycle. Tim is a double away from the cycle. Time for the Giga-Time high-speed replay. It's powered by Xfinity, the future of awesome, and Tim is off to the races. He's got great speed.
And when you talk about Abreu being a triple shy, don't put that lightly, because he has 4 triples this year.
That's one of the areas that Jose has really improved. And he's running better than he ever has.
Yes, he is.
As a member of the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah. A lot of guys doing better. It's just a matter of time.
Well, in something that's hard to come by, patience is required. Lots of patience. And as a rule, people around this game aren't overly patient.
Well, we've got the right manager for that. We've got the right coaching staff for that.
And a dedicated front office that let us know exactly what was going to happen, never deviated from that.
No. Kenny and Rick have done a terrific job. They call him out, but his cooking number goes up on that board and we lead it big.
Time now for a Honda game summary. It's all Sox leading 10-1, out hitting the Giants 13-2. James Shields was brilliant, gave up just 2 hits in 7 innings, and a season high 6 home runs for our Sox. 9 extra base hits. Pretty impressive as Aaron Bummer comes in the ball game. Great deals are waiting for you now at your local Honda dealer as you look at the 20th appearance of Aaron Bummer.
Slater takes the ball.
Reimer checks in right field.
Good rip, and the count 1-1.
Good slow breaking ball by Aaron.
He go.
Set him up with some slow breaking balls before putting him away with a fastball where he couldn't pull the trigger, and that one had the whole plate. Nice pitch by Aaron.
Jones, strike out, fly out deep to right field. Oh, Federal. 2 down.
It's Gorkys Hernandez now coming on.
Well, we finally held Bernard Span hitless.
That's a good trick normally.
For us, better believe it. Man against us looks like a world beater.
Hernandez has played some center field for these Giants, as well as left and right field.
Sharply, Yeoman got him. Nice inning. 1, 2, 3, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th, leading by 9.
State Farm, here to help life go right. And it's James Shields on his brilliant night. We'll look at 3 of the strikeouts. He had great location, good movement on everything, and what a night. Through 7 innings, he gave up just 2 hits and 1 run. So we got Hernandez, who stays in the game in left field. We've got Fedorovich is at first. And we have Orlando Calixta playing shortstop.
Pretty good rip right there by Adam. He's 1 for 3. And there's a base hit. So Adam 2 for 4. Yelmer is 2 for 4. A big 3-run homer, a triple. Scored a pair. Pretty good rip.
But just looking up at some of the velocities of Gomez, and I remember when a guy used to throw 95, used to look at it and go, wow, 95. Now they have parades of guys come out of the bullpen, and everybody's throwing 95 or higher.
And there's another base hit. David Novak's picked the click. He and George Jacobs have formed a good tandem.
Yomer's going to end this one a double shy of the cycle. So there's some big nights offensively for a whole lot of people up and down this lineup.
Well, every now and then it's fun to have a laugh.
It is that.
But you're so right about the bullpens. You know, as long as I've been in this game, that's the one thing. One of the biggest questions people are always asking, how have you been in it so long? What's one of the biggest changes in the game? On the field, the biggest change, there's no question about what it is in the last 50 years, 55 years, it's been the bullpens.
Yeah, no doubt. Used to be you had 2 hard throwing guys. One guy would be your closer. You might have one more hard throwing guy that was a starter who's fallen on hard time, so he moves to the bullpen still with a good fastball. Now it's guy after guy, a steady parade of guys that throw from 95 to 100.
Well, we never had to face that. We never had to face that in my whole career. As you say, we had some guys through 100, a little harder than that sometimes. You know, Dick Raditz. Some of those guys coming out of the bullpen, Goose, and, you know, a lot of guys that get it up there in triple digits. But it was one guy, maybe 2. But that was the exception when you had 2 guys down there in the pen that could throw that hard. And besides that, there used to be guys coming out there going 3, 4 innings sometimes for saves.
Well, Goose was one who talked about that a lot. He says, you know, respects what Mariano Rivera did. He goes, but for the most part, he was a 1-inning guy. Goose many times went in excess of 6-out saves.
Oh,
I mean, 6 2/3, and I mean 3 2/3 he would go. He had a lot of those because there was an era where you didn't have a setup man per se. Goose was his own setup man because nobody could hit him anyway, so he would set him up and then knock him down. Get a very elongated save in those days.
Well, the first 7th inning guy to come into baseball to be used in that particular spot was Ed Farmer. And he got so good at the 7th, they moved him up. He was the 8th inning guy, and then he started closing some. But he was the first guy to start that.
Eddie made the All-Star team in 1980 as a closer.
Well, there is not a guy today in the American League. I don't know about the National League, but there's not a guy today in the American League who had a better fastball curveball combination than Farmer. He threw hard. He had a great curveball, not a good curveball. He had a great curveball, and he was mean. He didn't want to knock you down. He wanted to knock you out.
Yeah, he didn't mind hitting you. That was no doubt about that. And Jose is getting his last opportunity for that elusive triple.
He's going to have a tough time as deep as these guys are playing.
He is that. You ever hit for the cycle?
In the minor leagues. Never in the big leagues.
Never in the big leagues.
You know, I saw something the other day, though. A friend of mine, not a friend, a fan, sent me a clipping.
Jose
The
is
closest I got to it, I missed it by a single.
It's kind of rare.
Yeah. I had a double, triple, and a home run.
Jose took that one right off his foot.
Yep.
And now Herm's going to come out.
Oh, that's a good one.
He's holding his shin, so it might have gotten him on the shin before it hit his foot.
Got him off the ankle, it looked like.
Yeah,
One thing about him,
sinking fastball.
He is a tough man.
Well, he never wants to come out. He wants to play every day, and he wants to play defensively and swing the bat every day.
He is a tough guy. That's in the gap. That's in the gap, and he's going to give it a shot.
Keep on going.
He's going to go. He's going to give it a shot.
Keep on going.
Yes! 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 His 5th triple.
That is really exciting and just terrific, and couldn't happen to a better guy who forgot about all of the pain that he had and ran into a 3-base hit the last cycle. Jose Valentin in 2000. What a job. Hit it in the one spot of the ballpark where he might have been able to run for a triple. And here's the spot. Fortunately, it wasn't hit harder,
right,
because it took a while to get to the wall. And then Jose really turns it on. One way or the other, he was going to wind up at 3rd base, whether he was out or whether he had a triple. And there it is.
No, sir. You could not have stopped him any way, shape, fashion, or form going around second base.
No, that was great. Congratulations.
High pop up. Nicky now 2 for 4 with a homer, 2-run homer.
Jose now is 13 away from the coveted 100 mark. With 3 tonight, he goes to 87. 29 home runs, 87 driven in.
So here is Avi. Avi 1 for 4 with a homer. Or excuse me, Reimer. And that's a base hit. Reimer hitting in Avi's spot. So Reimer picks up an RBI.
Let's look at the StatCast on Jose Abreu's triple as they're mobbing him in the dugout. Exit velocity 98.1 miles an hour. And he just kept on going. Well, that is a very happy man. Avi is giving him some problems. That's his Yomer saying, really nice job from second to third. They looked like they were swimming. So Jose around second base was losing his balance, and that's why they were giving him some problems. He made it.
Oh my. It's about time our guys had a fun game. Boy, there's a bullet.
Tim Anderson now has a shot at the cycle, and he needs a double. That would be amazing. Haven't accomplished that since the year 2000 to get 2 in the same night. Dave Righetti has had his say. Not much you can say when a team is as hot offensively as the Sox are tonight.
Well, 17,688 have had a good time tonight.
They have that.
One time, Tim. A homer, a single, and a triple. Outfield straight up, spread out, spaced about equal distance.
Last cycle tonight. That's good.
What would be the odds on that?
2 cycles after not having one for 17 years. I would say they'd be fairly high. Right now they'd be a little lower though.
Got him, but some damage is done, and we lead it 13-1.
Needs 3 outs. On for the 14th time. 0-4. ERA 8.25. There you look at the rest of the numbers. Kelby Tomlinson, who came in to play second base, now getting a chance to swing the bat.
Takes ball 1. Giants 1 run on 2 hits. An infield single by Posey and a home run by Hundley. There's a strike and the count 2-1. You're just tuning in, the line on James Shields after taking a rocket off his knee. Watch out, there's ball 4. 7 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, 2 walks, had 5 strikeouts. Just a beautiful performance by Shields.
Williamson getting his first opportunity to swing the bat. He started the ball game last night.
Jammed him, ate him up. Yohan.
Orlando Calixta, who came in to play shortstop, getting a chance to swing the bat for the first time.
Brandon Crawford was 0 for 2 with a walk, couple pop-ups. Crawford is a good-looking player.
He is that. Along with Panic, gives him a really good double play combination.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We talk about certain teams with their fans pouring out. These guys averaging 40,999 a game. Is that's trouble. There's a Kansas City special right there.
Look, the Giants for years have had a pretty good ball club, but it's a beautiful facility to go watch a game in China Basin.
That venue is just absolutely magnificent.
Fans love it, and they've really supported the Giants very well.
41,000. So here's Hundley. Hundley was robbed of an extra base hit and a couple of RBIs on that catch by Avi in the first inning, and he hit a long home run in the 7th. Steps on the bag, and they get him. And this ball game is over. So the Sox lose last night 9-2. Come right back tonight, hit 6 home runs, and win it 13-1. And we'll be back.